Welcome back to the Cup of Campus. So it's a podcast that features the XJTLU students, and today we'll be covering the lives in the XEC campus, which is a whole new experience. So my name is Claire Beryl, and I'm the third year student in Intelligent Robotics Engineering with Contemporary Entrepreneurialism. And I think you guys can introduce yourself. Maybe Oliver first?
I'll go first. I'm Oliver Asante. I'm a year 2 student taking data science and big data technology.
My name is Precious. I'm also a second year student and I study the same program as her.
My name is Cyber de los Santos. I am an arts tech entertainment student in year 4.
Okay, so maybe before we dive in, can you guys describe the campus in 3 words?
I would say community.
Why?
Oh. Well, so there aren't a lot of international students in XEC, but that creates a very closely knit community, and that's what I experienced from the get-go. In fact, I saw it kind of grow where when we first met, we kind of were awkward with each other. When we see each other passing by, we're like, oh, hello, I'm Oliver. But now we're starting to get closer. We have regular meetups. We play badminton. I know.
Yesterday's, you guys.
Yeah, I actually want to play badminton.
Well, one word. A ring. A ring, yes.
Explain.
Why? Okay, so if you notice, the architecture of the campus is interconnected. And the philosophy behind it is to showcase the integrative philosophy behind the whole teaching model here. Everything is connected. The whole programs are interconnected through the entrepreneurialism and also through the teaching styles of the specific programs. So, yeah, it's a ring.
Okay, it's a very professional one. What about Cyber?
Well, I'd say, to describe this campus, right? I'd say free. It's very free. Despite how very rigid sounding it all is, the program here gives you a lot of leeway to explore on your own and to learn on your own. And so, yeah, it's free. Also, there's just a general sense of that feeling you get when you exhale and you're just like, wow, okay, it's this entire campus, truly.
I totally agree.
Yeah, I get that feeling.
It's actually a good spot to study, knowing that our campus is kind of a peaceful campus, right?
Yeah. It's not too crowded, and as Oliver said, tight-knit. We're all chill here. There's no need to try too hard. Again, we're free to just be ourselves too.
All of the modules here, if you notice, all of the degree program, you, arts, and then we, robotics, and then yours is big data and data science, all of them are connected or related to the technology and entrepreneurship, right? So it is actually, the XC campus is actually a new campus built by the university, focusing on what the world currently needs. So kind of preparing us for the futures.
Industry 4.0.
That's why it's related to the technology and the entrepreneurship. Talking about entrepreneurship, can you guys share your ENT modules experience?
That's a big thing, because we all have different majors, but the one thing that kind of keeps us together is entrepreneurialism. Because actually in the end of all of our programs, we have with contemporary entrepreneurialism. Yeah, so I actually meet Precious on a weekly basis, even though we have different majors. We go to ENT class, and that's basically a class where you learn about entrepreneurship. But it should be different from the year 2s. Maybe the focus. How is it in year 3?
You guys are in year 2. I'm year 3, and then Cyber is year 4. So the entrepreneur modules kind of changing every year, I would say. For my year, I totally enjoy my year 2 entrepreneur module. So in the first coursework, we act as a startup to convince the board of management. So we could say our teachers are the judge. And then the second coursework is talking we have to convince the venture capitalists to invest in the startups that we choose. So I feel it's a really practical and really fun experience. Do you guys have that kind of modules, or is it changing
Yeah, it is changing.
Oh, it
because
changed.
I think because the campus is new, they iterate based on feedback they receive from the students, right? So they try to improve it every year. For our year, though, I mean, we've had something similar, but it's not quite the same as what you mentioned, all right? At least for this block we just finished, the module is all about like futuristic thinking, how to learn about signals that signify future trends, and
Yeah.
how to if you can see through what's happening right now, and then you can think ahead, have that futuristic thinking, you can set yourself like ready to plan ahead for the future, and you can, if you have a business idea or something that you think might solve a problem that is emerging right now, you can quickly act on it before it becomes.
Visionary. Dang. It's a really good one. What about like your year?
Actually, yeah. The stuff you guys are saying right now, I cannot quite relate because my year 2 and year 3 experience has been far, far different. And year 3 and year 4 were actually quite nice for me in terms of ENT. Can I talk about the capstone project?
Definitely.
Awesome. So, capstone project, Clarine, you said that you had to deliver a pitch.
Yeah. To the investor, but let's just act like the judge or the teachers are the investor.
Well, the capstone project that I just did for year 4 is essentially the culmination of everything learned up until that point of ENT, where you have to assess what goes into a good business, all the number stuff, all the organizational stuff, and then, deliver a pitch to actual investors. And top 3.
If I'm not mistaken, you are pitching, right? So is it like nervous or?
Well, nervous, of course, but if you know, or rather, if you've retained the knowledge that you are getting right now in ENT, or study up at least, you can pretty much just use that knowledge to boost your confidence. If you know, then the words will just flow freely out.
Totally agree. Yeah.
So you're actually putting into practice what we're learning. Like you put it in a very serious set, a very formal set.
Yes. So at first, people aren't going to like ENT in the first couple of years because it's all very theory, I believe. But then after the halfway point of year 3 and year 4 especially, it starts to become far more practical, serious. You get to apply theory. For example, first semester of year 4 for me, there was this game that you had to play where you and a bunch of your other buddies managed your own company and you competed with others. And so that competition and that drive, it kind of makes you absorb things better. And also it's fun. It's fun to use knowledge to meet others and win. And then the second half, of course, capstone project, you work with your buddies to make an actual pitch. And
And I think I forgot to ask you guys, like, why do you guys choose the XJC campus? Like, what attract you?
Me initially, I was after high school, I was like searching what is the best program for me right now. And long story short, I found out about data science. I knew that I wanted to go to China.
Yeah.
So it was just a matter of finding a Chinese university that provides the program. And XJTLU was the only one that has it, and that teaches in English. And more specifically, that was in Taicang and XEC.
So that's why you choose XJC campus. Maybe like previous?
I had a similar story as well. I used to study robotics here in China, but I want to learn in English because, so searching, I found XJTLU, right? But then they had like a similar program, not the same, but quite similar, which is the mechatronics robotics systems in SIP. But what got my attention here is the fact that the robotics was also combined with the entrepreneurialism. And it's like in this day and age, especially with the fact that we have that exposure to a lot of information, it's like if I do decide to want to have my own business or my own startup, it's good to have this background knowledge up front. Learning this while you are studying what you want to study, to help you think better and how to see through problems and then try to solve these problems and become an entrepreneur. That's basically why I came here.
There's also like the reason why I choose the XJC campus is because I can take like both technology and a business part. So if let's just say like in the future I decided to go like with the entrepreneur or the business path, I can because I at least have like the basic knowledge. And if I decided to go to the technology part, which is the robotics, I also can do that. So I would say that I have like more options. Like what about you? I mean, you're taking like art, right, Cyber?
Yeah, the arts. So it was either communication or arts for me. So when I looked further into this program, Arts, Tech, and Entertainment, I was like, wow, this is what I want to do, truly. And I was searching the other universities that I was considering, and I realized none of them had this program. It was just so unique. Additionally, the fact that we get not only a Chinese degree, but a British degree too, kind of bolstered my willingness to come here, as well as the fact that it's in China, and ain't that cool? So yeah.
It's like very interesting how in Taicang and XJC, all the programs are like new, very, very recent industries. We have robotics, data science, IoT. I don't just
everyone forgets, but yeah, arts, the arts, tech, yeah.
And also like in university, there's definitely like a club activities and student organization. So are you guys like involved in it? And maybe you guys can share about that because I know that you are the president of the CCEC. So maybe you can like share with us like more about that.
Yeah, so I'm the student president for the Collaborative Campus Engagement Club. And it all started because when I first came to XEC, not a lot of events. Very different from the SIP campus. And I was at first I was thinking why isn't anyone making an event? But then over time I started to think, why am I not the one who's making the events? Rather than waiting for someone, I decided to go on in. And yeah, so the main objective of the club is to have more engaging and fun events, to have a more fruitful university life outside of academics, because we have pretty intense programs, and so we would like to enjoy more out of our university life.
I'm like talking about the intense program. Like our campus, XCC campus, we implemented the teaching blocks model, right? So like we're gonna have like some of the modules delivered in the first half semesters and then another modules delivered in the last half semester. So do you guys actually like the block teaching models? Do you find it useful or?
It's very, very different.
So the block teaching, I like it because you deal with less modules at once. Thing is, it's more intensive. I could catch up easily. Yeah. But with the block teaching, basically it's so intensive that if you skip a week or 2 weeks of content and then you want to catch up, it's more challenging to do that. So to be safe, just follow through the teaching and you'll be fine. If you do like, oh, maybe I should just relax a bit and then you skip 3 weeks. Okay, you get my point. But so typically, like I don't know for you, but sometimes I just want to just chill and relax and just sleep, right? But the thing is, here it's more intense, and luckily the environment is more focused. So you can actually do what you have to do with less distractions. And also, one of the good things about it is the fact that because it's so intensive, they try to give you coursework, assessments, more of coursework and less of exams. Because you have to they want you to apply what you learn as you learn. They don't need to try to just bombard all the knowledge and then you have an exam and then you forget everything. So the benefit is that we have more of courseworks, less of exams. You still have exams, but not as much. So I find that at least very good, because it's like for me, having to do 5, 6, 7 modules at the same time can be quite challenging, quite stressful actually. Like I have this so many coursework to do, but when you have just 3 or 4, or even 2 sometimes at once, either I'm studying this or I'm studying that, and just go forward and I'm done and I forgot about it, go to the next step. I like that.
What about as an art student? Because like yours is pretty different from us, I think.
Quite different. So in the arts, we are largely project-based. We don't do coding. I mean, we do some coding, but not as intensive as your guys's. Still, similarly, it's intensive in that you have to kind of plan out weeks, months on end, and while intensive, still plenty of room to breathe. Of course, not 2 weeks room to breathe where you just lay down, do nothing, of course. But more so just, you can take a break, like a day break here and there. I'm actually quite a fan of the pacing of my course, and because of how intensive it is and how many deadlines are stacked upon one another, it forces you to not stay where you are. It lights a fire under your butt, if you will. You cannot be complacent. You are forced to grow. You are forced to adapt and change. And I think that's it's a philosophy that, while it is painful, I wholly agree with, because that's the point of why we're in academia, to grow, to learn.
Yeah, I mean, that's very true. Because I was in SIP first year. I moved here, got introduced to the whole block teaching. That was intense, very different. And as Cyber said, I couldn't be complacent. It was tough to adapt, but right now I'm used to it. In fact, sometimes I feel like it's a bit too slow at times. Yeah, so sometimes I feel like, so legit. Sometimes I when I go to class, I'm thinking, but I feel like that's very too related to what I learned yesterday. I feel like I need to learn something new by now. But yeah, in the first year, the first time I moved here, my brain was absolutely fried. It was very tough to adapt, but now I'm actually very used to it.
Now you want more,
right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But I find the block teaching modules really useful because, it's kind of like first we have 3 modules delivered. So after it's done, then it's done. You can just proceed. So that's what makes it like less stress, because you just finish it, and then you have remaining 3, and then just finished.
Also, if I may add on, after year 3, I assume in year 3 you were able to choose the different modules that you wanted to.
I think
you had a choice there?
No. I think it differs between modules. I choose the pathway in year 4. It's whether control system or computer vision. Yeah. And also I feel like there's a lot of opportunity in the XCC campus, because if you may have noticed, I have maybe quite lots of roles because I'm pretty curious person. So
you do a million things. I have no idea what. You're so busy. I admire that, truly.
Fortunately, I can do work-life balance, because on the weekend you'll see me outside exploring food or just hang out with friends. But I'm actually a team in the extracurricular venture, if you have not heard about that before. So our university offers us a lot of opportunity, including being a part of the extracurricular venture, the innovation factory. And have you guys ever heard of that? Xi'an Innovation Factory?
I heard they can provide funding to if you have a really very good business idea.
So extracurricular venture is more to they are helping startups to build on their ideas and sell out their products. For innovation factory, it's more to a technology aspect. So let's just say you have an idea and you want to make it happen, then you can approach them and just present them your idea, and if they think that it's good, then you might actually work with them, and they'll help and support you in building the prototype. So
I've got a founding member of a future startup here.
No. But are you guys actually interested in joining the X3 or the Innovation Factory? Because I know that you publish several papers, right? No, I mean you are constantly interested in being research assistant. Maybe you can share us your research assistant experience, because I'm pretty curious too.
this was last year. I was Utah. That was a robotic conference, and basically, my professor, he approached me that, oh, there's a conference coming up that if I'm interested in, so it's about like using CNNs, convoluted neural networks, and if I'm interested to just learn about it, like I don't need to have the background skill. I'm going to learn how to do it, but he thinks it's going to be like an opportunity for me to just learn something outside the classroom, and also prepare like a conference paper. I was like, sure, and I agreed with that. And then, he walked me through the whole process, and basically it was a conference, actually a big conference actually, and I wrote the paper. It's just a conference paper, not like the full blown paper, just like a conference paper. But that experience, it helped me to kind of understand what goes on in academia. Like if you want to actually be, maybe you want to do your PhD, you want to do research, these are things that you have to be familiar with. How to, write peer review journals, how to do your research, how to learn, right? And that experience made me kind of understand if I do decide to maybe pursue my PhD, I already have like that experience and like a foundation. Because if in your undergrad, in your bachelor's, you have that strong research background, you cannot decide to go straight to PhD and skip masters directly, right? So yeah, the experience was good, I feel, but right now I'm trying to do something else. So trying to do more into internships and just have more industrial experience.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, especially like our university is in a Taicang, right? And there's a lot of like Germany company, and is the one that you apply?
Yeah, it's a German company, but it's located like, so here the location of the campus is actually very strategic because they plan it to like the Taicang Jifrey Valley. So basically they're like the educational hub, business hub, and then the residential hub, right? So they put everything close together. So if you live there and then you study there, and if you have like an idea through the extracurricular venture or whatever and you want to pursue it, you have a business hub where you can actually go there and implement what you learn. So luckily for me, I was able to get in contact with one of the owners of the company there, and then I was like, oh, he does like additive manufacturing, which is somewhat similar to what I'm learning. Yeah, and I was like, okay, let me just kind of see what goes on here. I was just explore, and they're like, that's okay. So I applied, and this summer I'm going to go there and just do things to explore the curiosity and then better understand myself in terms of what I want to do going forward as a robotic engineer. So.
And also like our university is actually like a integrative education, which means that some of our modules are like collaboration with the industry partner, and I'm pretty curious with the arts because I know that my friends has a really cool like art exhibition, especially the one that collaborated with the probably curator and artist.
Yes. So fun stuff. But before I go into that, can we bookmark that topic? I did want to add to that, which is just the networking pipeline here in Taicang is just really great because everything's close together, industry partners, and so even as an undergraduate student, you can already be talking to the heads of large companies, and that is just fantastic to me. I've met some wonderful entertainment CEOs because of my enrollment here, of the location as well as the fantastic professors, and yeah, it's great. In regards to the arts, we have partners, curators in SIP as well as in Shanghai who do visit and who do see the work that our students create. For example, the year twos, they just had Studio 56, I believe. Their stuff is being exhibited in SIP, and my final year exhibition, I along with 5 others, have been chosen by fantastic curators as well for the Jiaotong-Liverpool, I could be saying that wrong, exhibition as well in SIP. So yeah, it's cool stuff. It
was very cool because for Cyber's FYP, they decided to involve the other international students. So they had a cameo.
Oh yeah, I made you guys scream and yell. It was fantastic. Yes, it was that one.
You're like in the group chat. I need to do.
So many people came.
Okay, and I were told to scream or whatever.
And that goes back to how tight-knit everyone is, which is, yeah, I pretty much just said, hey, I need screaming and audio. And I just sent that to the group, and I didn't expect so many people to come, and I'm very blessed to have all of you guys as friends. And
Like we need an outlet to just let the voices.
yes, exactly. And I'm writing this thing where mech pilots die. Could you be the people who die and be like, ah? And then everyone was like, ah. And then you were like, ah. It was great. It was lovely.
And also, like, since we're all a student from the XCC, like, has the campus met your expectation? Maybe? Oliver, you can start first. Yeah. Maybe, like, from your first impressions, has the campus met your expectation?
Honestly, when I first heard about the XCC, I didn't really know much. I didn't have much expectations. I didn't compare it to anything because I didn't know much beforehand. In terms of life here, I enjoy its peacefulness. I'll put it that way. I don't have expectations. I didn't have expectations. Definitely, my university life can improve. But so far, I enjoy the community I have here, as well as what Cybert mentioned, the freedom. And also, I enjoy going to the library. Very easy. Very easy to get a seat. It's so easy.
I mean, for me, one of the reasons why I came here was because of the facility.
Yeah.
Like I already, before I even left my country, I already had like an idea of what I wanted to see. Because for robotics, we need up-to-date machinery. Like because the industry grows so fast, if the machinery you use is 2-3 years out of date, if you spend 4 years with that machine, you're already behind when you graduate, right? And because the campus is newly built, all the machinery that are installed, they're up to date, and even now they're even putting more new machines. So this part of like the facilities and the machineries, it blew my mind, because I was like, I knew it was good. When I came here and I saw it, I was like, wow. Exactly, like so many UR, robot UR3, UR5, and so many other things, like ABP as well. And then also like, there's no good details, but basically it's really good. But the part that kind of made me like, was the fact that because the block teaching is so intensive, that we didn't have classes even on Wednesday afternoons. Typically Wednesday afternoons is actually free, but then they had to put classes there because that's the only way they could actually accommodate all the teaching we're going to do for the block teaching. And that part was like, because I'm also a club president with the Boarding Society, and for the Boarding Society, it's difficult for me to organize classes because everyone's schedule is different. And typically, you have the club activities in the afternoon, Wednesday afternoon, but because you have classes then, I have to find a way to circumvent it, maybe do it in the evening time, but in the evening time, it's not really that convenient. So that's the only part I'm like, But other than that, every other thing is actually good. The facility is good, study is good, the teaching.
I really envy your schools and your schools, the facilities that you have.
I mean, yours is big data.
So,
And I like, sorry, was you saying what envy?
yeah, because what they had like an exhibition, our students, and then I came there. They had like, the VR goggles. And Elena, our Russian friend, she made me play this game. I thought, do I really want to play? I was immersed. I was just playing myself for 15 minutes, trying to shoot down robots with the goggles, you know. And then people seeing just a guy with goggles and they're like shooting like this.
Regarding expectations, Oliver, like you, I didn't really have none because I genuinely just did not know what I was getting into. But when I came here, this is tying into you as well, I saw the facilities. I'm like, oh my goodness, every single building here has computer labs. Not only that, there's like a Mac lab, there's a PC lab. They make that distinction. Each of them have fantastic monitors, keyboards, all of that. And your like robotics has, I don't know what you guys have, but it's fantastic stuff still. A lot of stuff. Arts, tech, entertainment as well. Building G. the purple one, we just have so much cool toys, like the VR goggles or cameras. Like,
And you can actually work on that too, right? You can actually use those for your own projects.
oh yes, of course, and it's an efficient booking system as well. And there's just plenty of the facilities and equipment that the school provides for us that helps us.
Yeah, and to add to that, I think that's one of the benefits of us being the first set of cohorts to come here is that because we're not that many students, we have easier access to these resources, to these facilities, and it's very easy to get to use this to practice. Like, because you just don't want to learn the theory and then the practice that you do in class. You might have your own personal interest you want to pursue, and with that, it's easier to just I want to use this robot from this time to this time, and it's like, just go through like the process and then you get it. It's not like you have to wait like 3 weeks or 4. So I like that part.
That's why, like for me, I also don't have any expectation. But then when I come here, I feel like, there's a lot of opportunity because like, I don't know, I just like to try new things. And, I work in like several jobs, several roles, and I find that they have a lot of opportunity. When I mean a lot, like the coffee design. And then, the coffee design where we design a coffee shop and also work on the business plan and sort of stuff. But because I'm pretty busy, so I don't work on it. But my coursework is relevant to that one. So my ENT coursework is kind of like building a coffee shop too, like writing on the business model canvas, the value propositions. So thank you very much, guys, for sharing. It is such an insightful and fruitful. So like before we end, maybe each of us can share like one short advices. Maybe start from Cybert.
Why me? Okay, sure. My advice to everyone is that in life, there are a lot of opportunities presented to you. Here, especially in Taicang, there's just opportunities every day. I'd say if an opportunity looks good, just take it. And, it's better to experience something and say, oh, wow, that was bad, as opposed to not experience and regret it later. So meet people, talk to them, talk to us for equipment and materials. Like, if it's there, use it. If you have an idea, go for it. Just don't regret, I hope.
Well, for advice I'd give is try to understand what you want out of life, and don't take that crowd mentality into planning your future. Do what everyone is doing. Even if you don't know what you want, just make sure that you're proactively doing something. Even if maybe your friends are not really doing it, just make sure you do something, and you might find out that even if you're not really find out that path, that experience of doing something might help you when you might switch doing something else. So, definitely.
My advice will be always do your best in everything. That way you will not regret, because out of that, it is something that you cannot control. But as long as you know that you have tried your best, then there's no regret.
Come to Taicang. You don't have to be a XCC student to come to Taicang and enjoy its facilities. There's nothing holding you back from coming here. So come and enjoy.
So I think we can now wrap up the Cup of Campus podcast. So thank you very much for listening and for watching. If you guys need like any help or would like to search for any information, you could contact us or you could visit the XJTLU website. And I think we can wrap up the Cup of Campus now.
Sure. Yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Rate this video 5 stars, 10 million stars. And I guess we'll be seeing you around, hopefully. Bye.